deserves to be served.
And we talked to the mayor of Ferguson last night and asked him about the fact that he says 10% African-American police officers in his town, and says that they've done a good job so far recruiting, but they can't get enough African-Americans on the police force. What do you say to that?
That's an excuse that's used throughout the United States. But how can you get young people to want to be part of an institution that when they're growing up, they have negative encounters? You have kids throughout the United States. I'm law enforcement. I've been racial profiled. So if even black law enforcement, when they're shot at or killed, when they're in plain clothes or off duty trying to do a job that they're sworn to do, then young kids don't have a chance. So a lot of young kids now, they don't want to be a part. Our organization, we go out in the community, we have trial tests, we try to tutor them on taking the test, and we try to show them that this is a good job, but because of their experiences and what they see on TV and what they experience, they don't want to be a part of the institution. So in some cities, in the next 20 years, you'll hardly see a black cop on the street.
Jeff and Damon, let me just go to Usher Qureshi, who's on the ground. Usher, what are you seeing now, and if things calm down?
Well, we've gotten away from the area. We unfortunately had to break down quickly and get out. So we're nowhere near the area at this point. So we've taken a side route and gotten off the road. So we can't really see much. Police have basically pushed everybody back, and that was what we understood the plan to be up until we were taken out of there by that SWAT vehicle. So we're not at a vantage point where we can actually see what's happening at this point.
Can you explain to our audience who might have just tuned in why you left?
Yeah, so we were literally standing about to do a live hit for our international channel. We had lights set up, our camera was set up. There was a police vehicle that had been blocking the road going out from the location where we were standing, and we had multiple conversations with those police officers about how long they would be there and whether or not it was safe for us to be there. We understood it to be completely safe because we were more than a mile or so away from where most of these demonstrations were taking place, which is why we chose the location, because we couldn't get any closer. And so just before we were about to go live, people started running out of the neighborhood surrounding our area, coming from that location in Ferguson. And as they started to do that, we started to hear flashbang grenades getting closer. We were told by some of the people that came through that way that they were being shot at with what appeared to be rubber bullets, as they described them. And then the next thing we knew, something which I assumed to be a rubber bullet, it was a little bit dark, but that's what it looked like, shot right past me. And as I turned around, I could see that there was an armored police vehicle coming up the parallel street to where we were about to go live from and flooding lights in our direction. And the next thing I saw was a canister fly right past my right side, hitting our crew vehicle in the front bumper, and that's when the tear gas obviously went off. And so I didn't move quite right away, but then all of a sudden I got that whiff of that tear gas and couldn't see much longer. I could barely breathe, so we had to run out of that smoke area and down the street a little bit further. And as we tried to come back and approach our equipment, they started to fire again, it seemed like. So we retreated further into the neighborhood, and that vehicle turned into the street that we were standing on. And that's when we raised our hands above our head. We screamed out loud as we could that we were with the media. And that's when they approached us and ordered us to get into the vehicle so that they could bring us back to our crew vehicle so we could evacuate out of that area.
All right, Usher, stand by for a second. We're with Damon Jones and Jeff Johnson. We're following the situation that is unfolding in Ferguson, Missouri tonight. It's breaking news. We'll come back and talk about it some more. Also, major new developments in the U.S. operation to rescue thousands atop a mountaintop in Iraq. And Egypt and Hamas say there's a new 5-day ceasefire